Nice.
I'm yelling at him. You can come back through.
Yeah.
You can come back through.
So this you're just
And
getting a little too focused on him. If
Yeah.
I think a good thing to keep in mind is if somebody isn't kind of like understanding what you're saying, is just like you don't have to worry about him at this point. Like this Charybdis should be your focus. Like I think I would look at who is our win con for right now, and I think it's with how big Charybdis is and how far behind their Hachiman is, I would want to keep him alive.
Yeah.
It looks like you still got a nice ult off, but now he's probably just going to insta-die.
Yeah, I just ult him back
is,
where he just dies again.
To be fair, I don't think this is necessarily your fault. Let's just see the positioning on the map as you take this fight.
Yeah, I think here I just needed Eddie to calm. Don't worry about me. I'm wrapping around. Don't worry about me. And I would have taken less tower shots and been back with the Charybdis sooner.
Also, like, what's wrong with this picture right now? Where's your Morgan?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is Morgan's pretty far back, and we're on their side of the map.
So you get a pick onto this Hachiman, which is good. But now the worst possible thing is you are, well, you as a team, like you three, are now super deep in their jungle in a 3v3, and you guys aren't grouped either. If Dodgy stays walking through here, you guys are probably fine just because you are so far ahead. But
like if she turns around right there and comes back, we're fine.
This is, you guys are 3 strong. You are Sav, Kepri. They have Cab. Geb just ulted one person, and then Chiron. Like, you guys are fine here. But now, this is when it becomes a problem. Because now you are split. You are not helping anyone right now because, obviously, you said your comms, you're telling him to come back, and he's not. You are doing nothing. Your Charybdis is just getting 1v3'd on, and your Dodgy's also doing nothing. And, like, it's not like your ult or anything was bad. Like, you played it fine. But because of how your team responded to it, it ended up being worse than it could have been. I mean, so it ends up even being like a 2 for 3. Like that, you should be happy that that fight ended up being a 2 for 3 because of how bad it should have gone. But I think that's more of a team thing than you specifically doing something wrong. So you're building into the Heartward now, I think. Good objective call. You saw 2 people in middle, so you know. And then this guy's probably calling Cthulhu's here. So at worst, Kabrakan is the only one that could come here. Nice. Another one of these where... So right here, your Dodgy's backing. Have you seen their cab in the last minute? You have not. What if this cab is just sitting right at these back camps, and then he walks up, and then you're just out of position because you use your pluck here? You had no idea where this cab was, and you know your Dodgy isn't here. So this is just you trying to make a play when there's no play to really even be made.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
Like, it's a good pluck. Like, don't get me wrong. You got the... What's his name? You're going to poke him a little bit here. But if this cab was on these back camps and he didn't reset and he starts walking up here into this, and then he cuts like through this part, you have now used your escape. Your Morgan is out of position with you, and they have 3 strong if the cab didn't back. Obviously, he backed, so this ends up being just a whatever play. Just a little bit of poke on this cab. Pretty irrelevant anyway. But now this is good.
I think I played what I knew about the map okay, but what I'm not recognizing is what I'm not seeing on the map.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's...
Like right here, you see you're 3 strong, and you see that there's only a Chiron in mid, so you know you're good. And you know these guys are in left.
Yeah, we saw Geb Cab
so
and
now
left.
You have probably a free tower here, depending on how you play this. Instead of going for tower, you're probably just looking for a pick onto Geb. Or purple? Fair.
Yeah, we're playing purple. I'm just rooting him. Just be obnoxious.
So now, let's see what you do here. So again, you recognize your ADC's off the map, and they have 4 coming to meet you here on this Gold Fairy. So I just want to see how you guys kind of play this. This is good. Now you instantly want to get out. Why are we looking for a fight here when you are weak again?
I don't think we look for a fight. I think I was
just you posturing. It's just like kind of incorrect play. You're posturing for something that you don't need to posture for. Gold Fury isn't up. They're not threatening Gold Fury. You're weak. You really can't bluff them either because Charybdis is off the map.
I think the only thought I had there was I didn't want them to get Oris, and I wanted to be able to take down their ward. I mean, maybe the posturing is still bad just because we are in the weaker position.
Exactly.
But that's what my thinking was. So I stepped forward to make sure we got Ori's and to take down the
yeah.
ward.
The stepping forward to get Ori's is perfect. Like your posturing at that point was fine. It's just like you over postured. Like it's another thing of they could go on to you here, and you guys are not wanting to fight. Like you see this cab.
If the cab were
If he passed underneath here and he like, it's another thing of just like you don't want to get like that, like these bad things that you do down. Just because if this game is even and you guys have 41k, they have 41k, this 4v3 fight is a bad fight for you guys. But because you're ahead, it wouldn't be as bad as it could be. So it's just like don't get in the mindset like this is good. Like, you guys already got these. He's already walking back to mid. Your posturing here is just over posturing.
Okay.
And now you re-walk back up to this. Now it's even worse. Now this dodge you just threw it away. This guy could easily just path right here and then look to go onto you.
No.
So he just didn't. They ended up just dispersing and going and farming.
I think if his blink was up, I was dead there. But his blink was down. I think that's the only reason I live.
Good. Really good pick timing too there. That is like that's more of like your team thing, but that is a good pick timing because now this gold fury is up and you guys have a massive advantage.
Yeah, I think we make the rotation for the Hachi and then do gold.
Oh, nice. Good. Could be a free double kill. Into gold fury. Nice.
Yeah, I think we all go gold and Daji shoves mid.
And I like your positioning there. Like, that is another thing of you have the information, so your positioning is good. If the Hachi tries to cut through here, you're able to block it. If he goes through here, you can, like a linebacker, cut him off. So your positioning here is good.
Yeah, they say we can swap if you want to try for the cab. And then when cab went behind the tier 1, I was like, no, I'm just going to come back and tank.
At this point, you're making a good play. They are just super deep. It is more value for you to be here so you can tank this, so these guys can go and farm more. Like, if you weren't tanking this, these would both be about half health, maybe a little bit healthier, maybe like 2/3. But now, because you're tanking this, they're able to just go farm left. He's able to go farm middle with you, and you guys can just get more farm off the map. And, like, these two ended up dying for this, which is... That gold fury ends up being not as big of a win as it was, or as it could have been. Just walk away. This is another fight for just kind of no reason. I don't think your pathing is bad. I just think you are probably... When you play Khepri, literally it's everybody. It's not just like you when I say you. When people play Khepri, they usually put themselves in bad positions because their teammate is in a bad position and they're trying to help them. Don't fall into that trap, because a lot more times it will get you killed and your teammate killed than it will be you saving your teammate. Sometimes it might work out, and like maybe if you know enough that they don't have the damage to kill you, even if you do get caught, it's obviously like really high level stuff. But just don't get like put into that bait of I'm in a position bad to help my teammate who's positioning bad, because like I said, more times than not, you're both just gonna die.
Yeah, I fall for that trap a lot.
Trust me, that's like the Khepri and Geb trap. Everybody falls for that. So yeah, this is just more of a macro thing. Like you guys are 5 strong in right. You're coming out of base, obviously. You guys are 5 strong, and you have eyes on 2 of them in left. You should just be pushing to get something done. Whether it's through mid, whether it's through right, whatever it is. Fire, perfect, good. Who pulled this?
I pulled it with my my ball. But I think I step out there, like out of the circle, and the aggro goes on her.
Now this is bad. Because now you have 3 squishies that are not at full health. Your positioning is fine. You're trying to catch up to your team. Honestly, nothing you can really do there. You just got one shot. No fault to you there.
Yeah, it happens a few times. He's calling for ult, but I had already gone to the other side.
I mean, he got his blink off. You guys should be able to kill this guy now too. I think sometimes you just get a little distracted with Eddie. I think sometimes you just focus on him a bit too hard.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. This is about the time when 12th was stepping in and calming over Eddie. I get really distracted. Like, I get really overwhelmed in a couple of these fights and, like, do 2 or 3 different plans all at the same time, and none of them work.
Like, this is still fine. I don't mind this. Like, this is still fine. You had shell for him if you needed it. All this is still fine. Still fine.
Yeah, he
still
called
fine,
for the 3.
But
He said, I got a 3-pack.
Right here, you should just be sitting on this guy. He's about to drop out of his ult soon. You have a free root or pluck into it. Actually, I mean, I guess I got to make sure your ability's up. Yeah, so you have a free 2. Yeah, free 2
1, yeah.
into a pluck.
Yeah.
And then you can just kill this guy easily. But you kind of like played back because you kind of just walked towards Eddie again for... I assume you just wanted to peel him out. Really good drop. Perfect. That play's perfect. Frenzy may be a bit overkill, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I thought maybe we could grab the Cthulhu if the Cthulhu came back in, but...
If this is your shot calling, for most of this, it's been pretty superb. Fire Giant to bait him in. You had the damage to do it if they didn't walk in. Once they walk in, you realize your health is getting a little bit too low. You can't really do too much here. They're spawning very soon. You just do the pyro. This is good.
Yeah, and we didn't know where Hachi was at this point.
True, yeah, exactly. That's another thing. You didn't know where he was.
Yeah, and I mean, Dodgy was calling that. She's like, I'll back to defend Phoenix, stay on fire. And then she's like, he's gone, he's gone. So we're like, we don't know where he is.
Now, the next thing you're looking for is... How far into your build are you? What is this? Why is this upgraded?
I accidentally upgraded it. It's the double click thing. I never upgrade that until I have like 250 physical prots. Then I'll upgrade it. But
respect. If it was just a problem with the glyph system and how you buy stuff, fine.
Yeah, and they look so similar. I didn't realize it until after I'd walked out of base, and I'm like, why? Yeah, I'm like, why is my heart word stacked? What the hell? And then I'm like, oh, I bought the upgraded one. So
what I would do at this point in this type of a game as Khepri, obviously you can't do it because you did buy this Heartward or upgraded Heartward. But what I would try to do is I would try to get these upgraded as quick as possible, because you as a Khepri, this is about as strong as you're going to be, bar getting a little bit more cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
But these reduce cooldown on the relics, and they make them just like so much more powerful.
Yeah.
So that's what would be my next focus. You have 1,000 gold. If you get this frenzy upgraded, you can do this fire giant easily. You have a Charybdis who's level 18. You have a level 19 Dodgy who's going to be having this spear upgraded soon, or Boomba's upgraded soon. Your Morgan is going to be able to just 1v5 in fights because they have a Cthulhu she can turn into. So that would be in my mind.
Yeah, that's it is a weakness in my build paths. I often neglect to upgrade my relics.
Also, this is always very risky. This is more of a comp thing. Always so risky. Like, if they just 5-man walk to fire right now, like, you're on the opposite side of the map. At best... Oh. Hachiman horse. At best, you're getting a tier 1, tier 2. Actually, yeah, and they called the fire giant. So,
they do, and we let them have it and take Phoenix.
When you're this far ahead, trades like this aren't even that worth.
Okay.
I'm curious if they even can get it. Just because their Hachiman didn't go there. It looks like they'll be able to. Yeah, looks like they're going to be able to. But now you're at a spot where, yes, you got this. Maybe even kill this guy. But now, past this, you have no fire giant to actually siege. You guys don't have like a great sieging comp because you don't have like a really good healer or a really good poke or ability to walk in and just kind of auto it. So it probably is usually best here to just, why don't you do what you did in this left lane and right lane instead?
Oh, yeah. I think we were also trying to play for the Oni. Like that's why we were on this side.
Yeah. I mean,
we wanted to shove down left, play for Oni, and as soon as we saw that we don't see any of them on the map, the call was they're probably doing fire.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's just the call's gotten you in a spot and you just had to make a play somewhere.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, they're probably doing fire and we can't stop it at this point. Might as well get the Phoenix. So the mistake we made was grouping 5 on left when fire was up. That was the mistake.
Even if
we didn't have vision.
Your Shiva could have just stayed mid, and he probably could have defended that by himself. But because you guys literally 5-man grouped, Wait, what the heck?
They decided to push out onto us with no Phoenix to hide behind.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so we're like, okay.
You
I
guys
guess we
end
can...
here. If you would have killed him, if you would have killed him, you could have ended.
Yeah, I think we just leave.
Yeah. At this point, definitely leave. So you probably should just go for this Oni too, because they're so weak off this map. And if you reset, there's a chance that they could just walk to it. Yep. So you guys end up doing it, which is good.
No, we do lose this one. We do lose this one. That is into the loss.
See, like
the
problem is like a lot of comps in Smite right now kind of need Fire Giant to siege. Very rarely, unless a comp is like a heal comp, can you get away with not having fire while sieging. I mean, I guess it's not... It ends up not being that bad of a call just because you wiped almost their entire team and they have fire on just their Cthulhu now. So it's not like it was... It's not like I'm making it to be as bad as it was because you ended up killing them. But if they have fire and they have 5 people with fire and you have an 8,000 gold lead, like these fights are going to be pretty close. Like Fire Giant is usually... I think it's usually considered about a 5,000 gold advantage. So instead of you guys being up 8,000, you're up 3,000 if a fight breaks out. The advantage you do have, though, is that you have minion waves pushing down left, so they have a lot harder time grouping. You went into Spectral. I like the buy. Nice. This guy still doesn't even have his thieves finished stacking yet.
Yeah, I don't... If I buy Sovereignty first, I don't usually buy Thieves. I just don't think it's worth it at that point.
Nice. You're walking... your pathing here was so bad.
Yeah, with...
I don't even know. I thought you were the Shiva at first. But yeah.
No.
That pathing there was just horrible.
Yeah, let's see what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking.
You just went here, and then you like started walking up here, and then you like cut back.
Yeah.
Which is... I guess it ended up being that bad. I thought you were up here more than like down here, so... It wasn't as
Yeah. I was looking at the map, and my thought was that we were going to go for the tier 2 and right. I didn't realize they were taking a fight. And so I tried to, like, cut over to get to the tier 2, and then I'm like, oh, they're fighting. I better go to that.
Gotcha. Good. Now I would be very careful because they have a blink cab. Really, really good pull. This fight could have been a game-losing fight or a game-throwing fight if you didn't play this as well as you did.
Yeah, we had to keep the cab out of blink.
Because he got his blink off, and his one was going off, and then you dashed him. Like, look at how close this was to being, like, you guys actually getting wiped here. Because I do think it's important to know when you make, like, a really good play. Because at least from my point of view, you were paying attention to the exact point you needed to pay attention to. This cab spawns. This Cthulhu is not a threat anymore. He has a Cthulhu with no ult. However, the cab coming out of base with blink, full damage, poly is incredibly threatening. That's a good 2. Like, it literally... it almost looked like you were trying to pull the Cthulhu. But if your plan was to pull this cab, you save this fight. Because if he gets his blink off and he won...
We'll go with that. It was my plan to pull the cab.
If he gets his blink off and he actually wants his Charybdis here, he gets one shot. He can just ult you guys into this now, and this Dodgy is obviously unable to help because Cabrakan will just one-shot her. Like, this could have been a game-losing fight if you didn't pluck this guy. And then he had time to get his Aegis off because you actually pulled him. And then he ends up full-kitting you with no pen, so you take no damage. Nice. Yeah, I mean, literally, like, fantastic by you. Other than that, but fantastic fight by you.
Good. I appreciate that. And here we're like, can we end? And then we're like, no, we can't. Can we just get the Phoenix? And then we're like, no, we can't.
You even get the Phoenix.
No, I think she dies.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, I mean, it's whatever. That's just indecision.
Yeah.
If you guys would have just called Phoenix or back up or reset fire or pyro or whatever, it would have been fine. But that part I'm not going to harp on too much.
I don't get out there because that left Phoenix spawns at the second that I hit the little circle, and then I had to wait for the door to open.
Wait, isn't it just the door opens on the where the fire spawns? So like, sorry, where the Phoenix spawns. So if you kill this one, this door is open, but this one's not, right?
Okay. I thought both doors were open once you got a Phoenix down.
No,
But maybe, yeah.
If you get middle Phoenix, I think they both open.
Okay. You're probably right.
But this is a good
I was cursing because I was like, oh shit.
Because it did spawn like at a perfect timing.
Yeah.
It was a huge drop, really good drop. Good. Now you guys, what? So what did we? Wait.
They were calling we don't have secures. That's why we.
No, that drop was perfect.
Out,
I just meant you guys got Chiron ult out and you didn't use anything. But I think Dodgy had to use her ult to save it or to live in right. But
yeah, basically the rest of this game, the cab just looks for Dodgy and one shots her the rest of the game.
Okay.
And there's times that like they're like, "Can you ult?" And I'm like, "You're dead before I even saw you, man." That ult there was an accidental ult.
That's fine.
I have my abilities wired to Q, E, R, and spacebar. And so sometimes in a fight, my thumb will accidentally hit my spacebar when I'm not intending to. So I have to pay more attention to that.
Gotcha. Yeah, so your jungler just got one shot. Nothing you can do there.
Yeah, and I think my ult's down because I wasted it on the Shiva by accident. And it was that ult that actually tilted our Shiva. Like he was pretty mad after that. And like wouldn't stop talking about it. We had to be like, you gotta focus. We'll talk about it after game.
With how OP Compassion is, as soon as you die right here and you realize that you're like 250 gold short of Compassion, I'd probably just sell the Gem of Fate to finish this Compassion. Compassion makes supports who are just good. I mean, how's a better way to put this? Compassion makes it so you don't even need an ability or relic up to be useful.
Yeah.
That's how OP it is. So I think even
I
losing
think
out
I undervalue Compassion.
I think even though it feels bad to sell items, I would probably just sell this to get Compassion. Because you also, when you do that, you get extra just free gold every second. So that's probably what I would have done. You ended up getting into the tier 2 Perdun, which is, I mean, in my opinion, just outright worse. But you probably were just thinking that you didn't want to sell anything.
I probably didn't even think of selling it because it's just not a thing I've done. So I probably would not have. I would not have thought of, if you didn't raise it, I probably would not have thought of selling it. Yeah, I think at this point our Dodgy and Shiva are both pretty irritated with us, or irritated with each other, and they stop their coordination, and then we gotta make a correction for game 2 and 3.
I mean, you guys played this game really well up until probably that tier or that Phoenix in middle. Even that losing that Phoenix, while feeling bad, it's not the worst play. Yeah, your ult isn't back up, so you can't even help him. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you played that fine. I think sometimes you position a little too passively.
Okay.
But I think that is, I don't think it's a big thing. I think it's just sometimes. Yeah, you probably just, at this point, your comp gets pretty handled by theirs. I'm pretty sure at this point in the game, 5v5, you're this late into the game, their comp is actually insane. So I wonder if you guys just hard fight on a Phoenix and then just lose because their comp is just so OP. Oh, you didn't even fight on the Phoenix. Oh. Yeah, that's probably just an unwise fight. Fighting outside of the Phoenix. Unless you like know you have an advantage somewhere.
I think the call was to defend the tier 2s.
You didn't even fight on the tier 2. You fought, like, if the T1 was still there, that's where you guys fought. I mean, yeah, he just got soloed in the jungle. So I guess that's not really anything you can do.
No, it's blink, stun, dead.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I talked to the carry for a while about this game last night, and our thinking was that we needed to transition probably about mid-game to being a dive-oriented comp around the Dodgy to playing front to back.
Yep, no, exactly. No, you're exactly right. The problem is Morgan is probably one of the worst front to back mages.
Yeah.
But your comp could not win this game diving at this point in the game, at least in my opinion. because their comp is so incredible dive, such incredible peel. Like, I mean, I'm not surprised at this point that you guys lost this game, because they would have had to, you guys would have either had to just outright outplay them, or they would have had to throw. But I think I'm not too interested in watching the last fight, because I think it'll just be a stomp in the fight. Because I mean, if you look at their comp, who's the best late game solo laner? Cthulhu. Who's the best late game support? Geb. If for double hunter, who's probably like one of the best hunters you can have for diving late game? Chiron. And then you have a really safe Hachiman, and your Kraken is just going to be able to one shot. So like their comp at this point in the game is like nearly unlosable. Like that's how OP their comp is late game. You guys kind of had to just shut them down. And obviously you did. You guys just had a couple throws.
Yeah, we needed to be able to get that. We needed to get that mid Phoenix. If we get that mid Phoenix, then we get the left Phoenix. We had a really disjointed fight at that mid Phoenix, 10 minutes back in the game, and didn't coordinate very well, didn't get the Phoenix down, and they just came back off of that. Like they got the triple kill and Fire Giant off of it, and that was the end of the game.
I think a lot of this, there's not much we can really learn from watching, or for you from watching the rest of this. Maybe some team stuff, but I don't think it's that important. I think we should just focus on what we've seen. And I think the first point I want to bring up, and I just brought it up, is just sometimes you play a bit too passive. That's the first point. Second point is you are too hyper fixated on like one person. This game specifically was Eddie. It might be every game, it might be Eddie, but this game specifically, you're just like hyper fixated on him, and you played fights poorly because of that. So when you're playing gods like Khepri and Geb, a lot of the time you kind of need to just be thinking of like, who do I need to be looking at? Like you have to be like looking at the dodgy and then turning, looking at Charybdis. Morgan's diving. How's the dive going? Shiva's getting gone on. Is he all right? That's what makes Khepri actually a pretty high skill cap character, in my opinion, is that there's 4 people at all times that your entire kit can be helping. And that's what makes it like super, super difficult to be playing him. And then I think the last one is, obviously you stated at the beginning too, it's your early game 2v2 you struggle with. Just think about how the characters will interact. If you look at your 2v2, Geb and Hachiman versus Charybdis and Khepri, you have good lane clear as Khepri with your 2, and he has good lane clear as Charybdis with her 1. Hachiman and Geb both have like meh lane clear. Geb has like 60 damage on the archers, and Hachi can usually do about 80 or something like that. But you have the piercing auto, so you have to like think about how fast you're going to be able to clear this wave. And if you are winning it, you should be looking to auto the wave. If you are losing it, you should do what you did, which is just back up and let your ADC kind of auto it and not take poke. All right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Bobby. Much appreciated. This was good to get your thoughts and perspectives on it.
And there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the coaching. It was really fun. I think coaching is actually super fun. It'll be in the Metafy link below again. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. I'll see you guys next time. See you.